be thy name. My Lord, Krishna, the personality of Godhead, let your holy name be glorified. This is our movement. It is not a sectarian, it is very scientific movement. Scientific movement because at the present moment we are all godless, forgotten what is God and what to speak of His name. They do not believe in God and what to speak of His name, fame, His place, His activities, His form, His quality. How we can know? There is no educational system about the science of God. This movement, Krishna consciousness movement, is teaching the science of God. God is absolute. Absolute means there is no difference. Just like in the relative world, this is relative world. Material world means relative world. Relative world means the sun. As soon as I say the sun, there must be a father. As soon as I say a friend, there must be another man, friend. As soon as I say water, there must be something as water. But in the absolute world, the name water and the water is the same. This is called absolute. No different separation. So in the kingdom of God, the God is God and His Son is also God. So, by chanting Hare Krishna, you are directly in contact with God. This is the meaning of Hare Krishna. We think we are enjoying, but we are suffering, actually. And because we cannot understand what is suffering there is, sometimes we come to understand, but we are accepting this suffering as enjoy. A man is working very hard, whole day. This is not enjoyment. You have got a car, but you are running at 70 miles speed, going to your business, and there you are earning hundreds and thousands of dollars. So you are thinking that you are enjoying, but this labor is suffering, you forget. And in order to forget this suffering, then I take to wine, take to this, take to that, to forget this suffering. So actually we are suffering, but we are accepting it as enjoying. This is called illusion. Anyone who is very much sensuous, very much attached to sense gratification, they are called demo. And those persons who do not indulge in sense gratification, but utilize this body or this life for God realization, Krishna realization, they are called gods. There are two classes of men, demon and God. Those who are engaged in God consciousness, they are not God but godly. And those who are not, because this human life is meant for this purpose, forgetting our Father, forgetting our God. We are criminal within this material world. Therefore, our only business is how to get out of this prison house and go back to home, back to God. God is like you and me, a person. But He is Pacific Ocean, we are dropped.
Question was, in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a scripture that we study, it says that Krishna did not want us to come to this material world. The question is, if Krishna did not want us to come, why are we here?
Yes, you force Krishna to allow you to come. Just like sometimes a child forces the father. Father says, my dear son, do not do this, do not go. But he insists, I must go, I must. All right, you go at your risk. That's all. And you suffer. What can be done? Because you are God, because you are son of God, God has got independence, full independence, almighty. Therefore you have acquired the quality of your father. You have got little independence. So God does not interfere with your little independence. Beginning from Lord Brahma down to the worms in the stool, gradually, according to your work, according to your desire, you manufacture different types of body and enjoy and suffer. That's all. In their main senses, we cannot understand what is Krishna or God, His name, His form, His attributes, His pastimes. We cannot understand by these blunt material senses. Then how it is to be understood? After all, this human life is meant for understanding God. That is the only business of human life. The nature, material nature gives us this opportunity to have this human form of life. The facility of this life, or this form of life, is given to us just to understand God. Other forms of life, cats and dogs, trees, and so many other things. There are 8,400,000 forms of life. So in other forms of life, it is not possible to understand what is God. If we call all the dogs of your country, come here, we shall talk about God. No, there is no possibility of understanding. But in the human form of life, there is possibility. Doesn't matter whether it is in India or America or Australia, any human being, if he tries and if he reads the scriptures, never mind Bible, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad, then he will understand God. The beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Janmadasya Jata, absolute truth is that from whom everything has come into existence. Now, what is the nature of the absolute truth? Everything means there are two things, matter and spirit. Two things. Just like this table is matter, and we, living entities, we are spirit, spirit soul. This material body is my covering, just like dress. Every one of us is dressed, covered by some kind of dress. Similarly, all living beings, they are dressed by the material covering. So we, the spirit soul, part and parcel of God, at the present moment, we are covered by two kinds of dresses. The subtle dress, mind, intelligence and ego, and the gross covering. Subtle means we know there is this thing but we cannot see. Just like you know I have got mind, I know you have got mind, but I don't see your mind, you don't see my mind. I know you have got intelligence, you know I have got intelligence, but we don't see what is that intelligence. Similarly, identification, I am this consciousness, that also you have got consciousness, I have got consciousness, but we don't see. So things which are not visible to these material eyes, that is called subtle. And spirit soul is still subtle. Human life is meant for understanding that spirit soul and the Supreme Soul.
In Krishna consciousness, the process is to get beyond the disease of material existence.
Yes.
The first part of his question, how to do this. The second part of his question, what is the end result after taking to the process?
The process is to transfer yourself from material energy to spiritual energy. We are under energy. The God has got two energies, material energy and spiritual energy. We are also energy. We are marginal energy. So, marginal energy means we can remain under the material energy or on the spiritual energy, as we make our choice. Marginal, just like on the beach, you find sometimes on the border of the water is covering the land and sometimes the land is open. This is called marginal position. Similarly, we are marginal energy of God, living entities. So, we can remain under the water, means the material energy, or we can remain open on spiritual energy.
What is our view of Lord Jesus Christ?
Jesus Christ, Lord Jesus Christ, He is Son of God, the best Son of God. So we have all respect for Him. Yes.
Saint Francis, the founder of this particular order, which we have been invited to speak to, found God in the material world, and he used to address the aspects of the material world as brother and sister, brother tree, sister water, like that. What is your view upon this?
The real God consciousness. This is real God consciousness. Yes. Not that I am God conscious and I kill the animals. That is not God conscious. To accept the trees, plants, lower animals, insignificant ants, even as brother. Samas sarveshu bhutesu. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankati samas sarveshu bhutesu. Sama means equal. to all living entities. To see the spirit soul, anyone, it doesn't matter. Either he is man, or cat, or dog, or tree, or ant, or insect, or big man. They are all parts and parcel of God. They are simply dressed differently. One has got the dress of tree, one has got the dress of king, one has got the insect. That is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Pandita samadarshina. One who is pandit, learned, his vision is equal. So, if St. Francis was thinking like that, there is higher standard of spiritual understanding.
Turn back, Prabhupada?
Yeah. What is this sound means?
That means begin to roll. Action. That means action. When they snap that, that's the beginning of the shooting. The boy who's pulling the cart in the red is making one documentary film all about your stay here in Australia. Then it will be distributed to the government. Actually, this is an independent film, but it can be put into a library and people can get it for their schools, colleges.
To understand Krishna is very difficult job. Krishna has personally said in the Bhagavad Gita, Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaya. Out of many, many millions of persons, not only at this age, in the past also. Manusyanam sahasras, out of many millions of persons. Kaschit jatati siddhaye, one is trying to become perfect. Generally, they have no knowledge what is perfection. Perfection they do not know. The perfection means to stop this process of birth, death, old age and disease. That is called perfection. Everyone is trying to be perfect, but they do not know what is perfection. Perfection means this, that when you are free from these four imperfections, what is that? Birth, death, old age and disease. Everyone, nobody wants to die, but there is forcefully, you must die. That is imperfect. But these rascals, they do not know. They think that we must die. But no, because you are eternal. You are not meant for death, but nature is forcing you, must die. God is the Supreme Being, full with 6 kinds of opulences, therefore He attracts everyone. This is the definition of the word Krishna. This Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna, the perfect person. The pains and pleasure on account of this material body we have to feel. But if we come to the spiritual platform, that is understanding of the soul, then in any condition we shall be happy.
Another question? Yeah? Yes, sir?
Do you consider your movements the major form of enlightenment emanating from the United States today? Where is your movement? What order of priority has your movement in the White House Psychological Warfare Department, the CIA? Will you also be coming along to our July 4 demonstration again this year to try and fuck it up and divert people away from taking up real political issues concerned with Australian independence?
We can answer one at a time. I can answer them for you if you like. Our movement is not coming from the United States. If you have some paranoid stigma about everything coming from the United States, well, that's your hang-up, not mine. Second of all, our spiritual master, he came to the United States to start this Krishna consciousness movement because he got a free ticket on the boat to go there. And because it was the mercy of this one lady who gave him the free ticket on the boat, he came to America on the orders of his spiritual master. This is the reason he came to America, to start Krishna consciousness. If you had sent him a free ticket, he probably would have come to Australia first. He was a monk, a penniless monk in India, and he was trying to follow the orders of his spiritual teacher by spreading love of God.
Some people would say that Krishna consciousness is
too austere.
Huh?
Too austere.
Yes.
Should be taken in stages.
What is that austerity? You are starving? We say don't eat meat. Is that a very great austerity?
No, that is the easiest to give up.
There, no illicit sex. We don't say no sex. Illicit sex. Huh? So what is the austerity?
Well, devotees, they must rise early in the morning,
Yeah.
take cold bath.
That is healthy. Because early to rise, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy and wise. That's fact. What to speak of early rise, practically I don't sleep at night. Only 2 hours. That's all. And still, I work early in the morning. What is wrong there? No, I don't sleep at night. You got one big dongle?
Yes, yes.
You can take on hold on. What is this?
It's your sweater. This is your sweater and hat. Like that.
So, everything all right? This is, give them these flowers.
You should.
I can distribute this raspoon.
Yes. We shall go now.
Some